This is Witchspace News for Friday the 5th of October 2018. I'm Commander Burr. In this week's news, Frontier confirmed that their next two live streams are not Q4 related, and there appears to be a pre-point release change freeze in place at Frontier. And as always, I'll have this week's Thargoid Report. It's quite a light news week this week, and I have to say I do suspect that's all about to change very rapidly, and I'm frankly terrified with what is possibly about to happen to my video schedule. With that said, I did want to bring a couple of little points to your attention that you may have missed, and as always I'll have an update on this week's Thargoid activity. So Frontier announced this week that the next two live streams, one of which was actually last night, were taking place, and that their content was entirely non-Q4 related. So they're managing expectations obviously of an information hungry community, so that's good. The next live stream they've confirmed is next Thursday, the 11th of October. That live stream will feature Will and Ed at Frontier continuing their bug hunting series of anti-Thargoid missions. They haven't said anything about any live streams that are coming up after that date. So possibly in and this is quite speculative, but possibly in a slightly related news item, Frontier announced that the player faction description text, which is entered via the player faction application system online, will not make it into the game after October the 8th until the next point release, as the internal system they use requires a point release to add that text in. What you can draw, slightly speculatively at least, from that is that there appears to be a change freeze being put in place at Frontier in anticipation of an expected significant point release. I don't think you can really draw any kind of meaningful date from that fact, but it does serve as an indication that we are indeed moving closer, and that Frontier are very much lining up their pieces in readiness for that event, coupled with the fact that they're not announcing a huge list of Thursday live stream schedules, rather a 2-week in advance schedule. I don't know, I'm guessing because like game development is sometimes not, you know, very much not an exact science. I'm wondering if we're looking at kind of they've got a rolling release window in mind, and that they're managing that internally, and as they get closer to the start of that window of opportunity, their schedules will get tighter and tighter, and there'll be less room for them to maneuver. And just my gut feeling is it feels like we're getting much closer to that sort of tipping point. It's really hard and ultimately I suppose quite pointless, but I find it quite fun to just to guess on what might be going on and when we might start to see Q4 content being streamed at the very least. My current gut feeling is probably around the 18th, somewhere between the 18th and the end of October-ish, possibly, maybe. Really speculative though. What do you think? Does that sound sensible? Time will tell, I guess. And here's this week's Thargoid Report. As always, this information is gleaned from the excellent weekly thread from the legendary Burton Simmons on Reddit. So last week, HR1257 and the Dalfur system were targeted by the Thargoids. I'm pleased to report once again both systems were successfully defended. If I'm hearing correctly, and I can't independently confirm this, but if I'm hearing correctly, it's the second time that at least one of those systems has been targeted by the Thargoids, so it would seem that they're strategically important to them for some reason. I wonder if they'll try a third time. Systems identified by Canon as under threat this week are LDS-883 and the Otherni System. If you're looking for scout combat, either should be a good candidate, and as I've stated before, you don't generally need anything terribly special to take out the scouts, but the entry level Xeno weaponry, which is unlocked and available to everyone, will make a significant difference. Popping scouts is a great way to get your combat rank up as well, as they count as elite rated ships. If my schedule allows this weekend, I definitely want to try and get out there and just get some kills under my belt. I've got a Type 10 that's itching for some action. If you are heading out that way, I'd highly recommend at the very least you take decontamination limpets. If you accidentally fly through the cloud of goo that comes out of the ships once they pop, it will ruin your day quite rapidly. Decontamination limpets will sort that out. Also they can tend to fire caustic missiles at you as well. As always, commanders, as I've said before, pick your fights with care and you'll do just fine. If you're looking to haul goods and help with the clear up from previous attacks, there's still absolutely loads to do, and Operation Ida will be grateful for anything they can get from you. I've linked to them in the description below. There really is no shortage of stations that want repairing. That's it for this news update. Thank you so much for making it this far. If you enjoy my videos, do remember to hit the subscribe button and also give the video a thumbs up. That stuff really helps the channel. You can also hit the little bell notification on the bottom right there to get an alert as soon as I upload a new video. I'll be back later this week with more videos. Until then, 07 commanders, follow the greens on the way out and do keep clear of the toast track. I very much look forward to seeing you next time.